So the recording is started. Andrew, it's all yours.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Christy. Hi, everyone. Really excited to show you Bonfire from the vendor perspective. I'm going to just pop my screen up here and we will get going. There's the share screen button. The bright green one. Is everyone able to see Bonfire? We got a thumbs up. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So this is the City of Bend's Bonfire portal. URL Bend, Oregon .bonfirehub.com. Christy mentioned the website. Nice big banner here. Just click on current bid opportunities. It brings you right there. And I'm viewing the portal how it is right now. Not logged in as anyone. My plan with everyone today is to first go through the registration process, show you what it looks like to register for an account in Bonfire. Once we're registered, we'll walk through what an opportunity looks like. So what the bids and the different projects on Bonfire will look like from your perspective, how to download those bid documents, how to ask questions if you have them, how to start working on a submission, and we'll step through the submission process as well, and different aspects of that, things like bid tables and questionnaires and some fun Bonfire tools. So again, I've just opened our kind of landing page here, first screen we see, and to register for Bonfire, you can do it a few different ways. Basically, any place that you see the login option, you're going to see the option to register. So up in the top right, we have our login tab here, and then you'll see it on an opportunity as well. Now, City of Bend doesn't have any public opportunities out quite yet on the portal, so I have my test portal just kind of handy close by, and we can see we have a few opportunities on my example here. If you're viewing an opportunity, down at the bottom is where you'll find that login and register. Few things you want to be logged in order to do is download the bid documentation and ask a question. We want you logged into an account that you've registered for before you download the bid documentation, because if there is an addendum put out for the project, we know we're able to send you an email notification about it and keep you informed about updates to projects you're interested in. So in order to download the bid documentation, you have to be logged in. And then in order to ask a question as well, because if City Bend staff reply directly to your question, you'll be given an email notification as well. So we just want to make sure you're in a registered account, so we know we have a valid email for you. Registration, as you're about to see, is completely free. We do have a premium tier that you can pay for, but honestly, over 80% of vendors that use Bonfire use it free. The premium tier just gives you a kind of nicer wrapping around features the free tier has available. So you are able to use every feature in Bonfire in order to view and submit bids completely free. So I'm going to step through the registration process here. And again, I'm just hitting any login button in the many places they're located. When you go to log in, there's a new vendor registration. So if I haven't registered for an account before, we want to give that a click. I'm going to put in my organization name. I'm going to put in my name and email. And I just realized I'm still on my test portal. So I'm going to go back to City of Bend's portal, new vendor registration. And here we are. My name and my email. I'm just going to change my email a little bit so it sees it as a new email here. There we go. So we put in our company's name, my name, and a confirmation of my email, and I hit create account. At this point, the system is going to send me an email just to confirm the email that I've put in. We want to, again, ensure that it's a real email that you're receiving. You didn't accidentally make a typo or something, so that we can keep you informed about updates to bids that you've shown interest in or answers to questions that you've asked. So I'm going to just quickly pivot to my off-screen inbox here. I'll just drag that down. I'll show you what the email that you receive from Bonfire looks like. So I just quickly send and receive and pop that to a screen that you can see. There we go. So we've done some window dancing, and here is our registration email. Once you get this email, it comes over right away. As you can see, I got it immediately. I just hit complete registration. And then that's going to bring us into the final registration screen. And I'm going to again pop that over to the screen you're seeing. This is where we're going to put in our password. See, a minimum of 10 characters. There's some hidden password requirements that we don't tell you about as well. Things like we do validate your password against a database of breached passwords. So if you know your password may be on a list of passwords that like hackers have gotten through other systems, you may get a little error just saying pick a different password. I'm going to just use a little password utility I have. If anyone uses 1Pass or LastPass or anything like that, that's basically what you're seeing here. And if you don't, you can just get creative. Use a sentence, right? You know, I can even do that here. Bonfire is great one! Exclamation point, and we'll just pop that down. It's not going to let me copy paste. And we'll create our account. I just realized I've said my password on this recording, so I'm going to change that after this meeting. Once we've got our password created, we have our final registration steps here. It's just going to bring you through a 5-step process. First is account confirmation. Just accept the policy, privacy policy, the terms of service. If you'd like to read through it, you definitely can. And just the links there to open those documents up. I'm just gonna, just like every other privacy policy, I'm not gonna read it. I'm just gonna accept it. Into account information, we have a confirmation of what we've already given. So we have our organization name, we have my information, and then we have lines for phone number, and we have our address. So I'll go through and I'll pop that in. Pick our country, and it gives us our states. Hopefully everyone agrees. Pretty easy so far. After the address, we're going to have a question about the certification of business inclusion. So if I'm a minority-owned business, a woman-owned business, any of these certifications, I can let City of Bend know. Down at the bottom here, I have none of the above, and I'll hit save. If you do pick a certification, you'll have an added step. So I'll change this and say disadvantaged business. And in documentation, it's now going to ask me for my certification. So I'll just upload my certification just to validate the certification I've put here. And then we have our commodity codes. The commodity code step is going to allow me to match my business with NIGP commodity codes. That way, any organization that uses Bonfire, not just City of Bend, but other organizations as well, and any service region I choose, Bonfire will send me a weekly update here's all the projects across the Bonfire network you might be interested in based on the commodity codes that you've chosen. So let's say I sell abrasives. I can follow that abrasives code and say down here what my service region is. So I'll say I support nationwide, any state in the US, or I can specify I can only support Oregon. And there we go. Any bonfire organization in Oregon that runs a project they tag as abrasives, I'll receive an email notifying me just every week. Here's all the abrasives projects across the Bonfire client network in Oregon. And you can subscribe to as many states if you support multiple states, depending on how big your organization is. So it's a good way to just keep informed about other business opportunities that you may be interested in. The other thing is that you don't need to receive emails as well if you don't want to, and then it's opting in. But it's generally a good idea. Again, it just gives you the opportunity to be more informed about other opportunities that you may be interested in. So I'm going to subscribe to those codes. Now I've subscribed to a 3-digit code here, which is pretty broad. If you hit these little arrows, see just to the right of these numbers, it's going to drill down. And so maybe abrasives is too broad. Maybe I only sell sandblasting equipment. So I'm going to just subscribe to sandblasting, and then I won't be notified of projects that are specifically tagged on any of the other 5-digit codes. Typically, we recommend that people subscribe to the 3-digit code unless they're a smaller business and they really are just that hyper specific, because you know, if I'm able to do a handful of these, it's better to be notified of projects that I'm not interested in than not be notified of projects that I am interested in. Right? It's not a big deal to see a couple projects on the list that really don't apply to me. Cast a wide net and then, you know, throw back the rocks and stuff that you catch. So you can do your 3 or your 5-digit codes, and you can add as many codes as you want as well. So again, if I just want to just do my we'll get rid of wheels, and we'll do sandpaper and sandblasting. Stick with the theme. You can do as many codes as you want. So I have 4 here. If you do a 3-digit code, it will notify you of every 5-digit code under the 3-digit code umbrella. So if I just get rid of my 5s, I do the 3. That's me saying notify me of all the 5-digit codes that start with 005. So casting that wide net. This isn't set in stone as well. While you're registering, you may set it one way, and then after a few weeks of getting the emails, getting a little bit more comfortable with the system, you can definitely update that, and I'll show you where to make that change in a little bit. For now, we're going to call the commodity code step done. So we're going to hit continue to registration complete. And it's going to let you know, hey, you did it. Awesome work. You were registered for Bonfire. We're going to continue. A couple questions we get about registering. If you have registered for another portal, if you've already registered for another organization's Bonfire portal, you do still want to register for City of Bend's portal. The system will recognize, though, it holds what we call a global vendor record for you, and it will recognize, hey, you already use Bonfire somewhere else, and it will pre-fill some registration questions. So if there's something City of Bend is asking for in their registration that another organization you've already registered for is asking, those questions will be pre-filled, and you'll just want to confirm that information is still accurate. So it makes it a bit quicker, but you do still want to step through the registration, and it's a good chance to revisit what commodity codes am I subscribing to? Is this information updated? You know, life is busy. You may easily forget to go update your information in Bonfire. So there we go. The other question about registering that we get a lot is, do I have to register for an account if somebody else at my organization has already registered? If you do have multiple people at your organization that are going to be interested in viewing these bids and submitting to bids and asking questions about bids, they do want to register for their own account. So everyone has their own login. And then we do have some fun stuff on the roadmap regarding what we call multi vendor organizations. So some stuff on the roadmap that you'll hear as it gets closer that'll help you better collaborate with your colleagues that also registered for Bonfire, but you do want your own account for sure. Okay, so I've registered here. And I've now logged in. I'm going to close a bunch of windows here and step back to the City of Bend's portal. Actually step back to my own portal because City of Bend does not have opportunities quite yet. I want to come back to my portal and I'll show you now that you've logged in to a registered account. I'll full screen this if it'll let me. There we go. So I'll just log into an account that I've registered for here. And be logged in. Now that we're logged in, to view an opportunity on the main page of the portal, it will just list out those public opportunities that you have access to. Just select view opportunity. And in our opportunity here, now that we're logged in, we have a button to ask a question. So if it's an opportunity we've already viewed, we've come back, we have a question, we need some clarification about something. Right beside the due date for questions. So we're given an overview of our project details. We have ask a question. We can click and it'll snap us down to where we can ask a question. If the deadline for questions have already passed, you won't be able to submit a question in through Bonfire. So if you don't see that button, just double check that this date is in the future, not in the past. And if we scroll down here, we see a list of our events. We see commodity codes that have been tagged on the project, and we see supporting documentation here. So here's the bid documentation. You can just download those, a nice download all to save yourself a few clicks. Underneath that, we have requested information. So a nice thing Bonfire will do is just list out point form. Here's what is being requested in your submission, and it will list out the different requirements. So I'm being asked how many years have I been in business, then I'm being asked for a technical proposal and a cost proposal. And then the supporting documentation that I downloaded, just like today, will detail what needs to be in those proposals. We have our questions. Any addendums will show in a couple of places as well. So if an update was put out to your project, you'll see the addendum in your supporting documentation, just along with everything else. You'll be emailed if you've downloaded documents or asked a question on a project. You'll be emailed if an addendum was put out, and then you'll also see it in the messages section. You'll have a section for public notices, and it will list that out as well. Now, I've already submitted to this project, so we're going to go back to list and we're going to pick a different one here. We're going to select our athletic equipment bid. Some bids in Bonfire are going to use what we call a bid table. A bid table is a set pricing sheet. It's going to be a table that just lists out the equipment that's being bid on and asks you to fill out the required information for each item. Things like the unit price, for example, and any other information that's needed on the bid. Bid tables primarily work through Excel. And so we're going to download a bid table here, and I'll just show you what they look like. Not every project is going to have this. Certainly if there's any vendors here that will bid towards construction projects, you're probably going to see bid tables fairly often. and it just opens in Excel, and it opens to nice instructions here. So it'll just point form, kind of tell you what to do. I already know what to do, so we're going to skip over the instructions, and we're going to come into the table. And not every table is going to have the first column here, but this table is enabling me to choose whether I'm bidding or not on items. Some bids will require you bid on everything. Some bids may allow you to bid on just select items on a table. And so in interacting with this bid table, I'll select the items I'm bidding on. And then I'll be over on the right side here, I'll be given columns I need to fill in. So once I say bid, I'll put in the information that's being requested. This example, they're bidding on sporting equipment. So we're going to just put in the information that that we need here. So I'll put in this case the brand, the warranty. Once you've filled out the information that they're asking for, say $5 for a scorebook, you see the lines go green. So if you're missing any information on the table, the system's going to make it really easy. Sticks out like a sore thumb. Oh, I forgot to fill in this. So it makes it very easy to make sure that you have a more responsive bid. Well, right, we're not forgetting anything. You see all these reds, it'll even tell me what cell to go to fill in the information that's required of me. So when you submit, you can submit with a little bit more confidence that, hey, I'm giving all the information that's needed. And then when you're ready to submit this, all you do is you save this and you upload it back to the system. And we'll look at uploading our submissions in a second here. To upload a submission, down below, you'll have your submission section, and you just want to select a button here to submit. And we will. There we go. So it'll say prepare your submission. You just say prepare my submission. Right beside the submission, there's a really helpful video that will walk you through the submission process. It's just a couple of minutes long, walks through the very easy process of just putting your submission in. So I'm going to hit prepare my submission, and it's going to bring me into the screen. The submission screen gives you the official time you've started your submission, the closing time, and how much time you have remaining. The closing time is the due date for submissions. Once the closing time is reached, the system will cut you off. You're not able to submit anything after the closing time, as Bonfire calls it. We're going to get some basic information here. Project name, the project number, my information, and then down below we have that requested information we saw on our project. So we're given a list of here's everything, all the different pieces required for a submission. Red items are required. This is stuff I have to submit. Some projects may also give us optional. Right, I don't need to submit any supporting documentations, but there is supporting documentations that would be I feel would be helpful. I have a spot for them. So there may be some optional items here. Those are just indicated with these tags and these lights, these little red circles. Red is required, yellow is optional, and then you're about to see green, which is ones you've completed. Okay. I'm going to submit that bid table. So we're going to go back to that bid table project. And we're going to submit that bid table here. So I've already started the submission. We'll go in here and we'll upload a bid table. We're going to hit upload a file. And then we're going to grab that bid table I've saved and opened it. And then the system will view, yep, okay, you filled filled the table out right. So there's some data validation that's happening here as well. If you're missing, you have some of those red rows that we looked at on our table, it will let you know. So we're gonna upload the rest of this. In this case, it's just asking me to upload PDFs. And you know what? I'll just upload. It doesn't matter for training. These slots asking for documents are going to specify file types, and you'll see a lot of them say PDF. The project manager, the person who's issuing the opportunity on the City of Bend's portal, is in control of what type of file they're requesting from you. And so it doesn't always have to be a PDF. It's going to tell you PDF, Word document. They can open it up to any file if it's maybe one of those optional items where it doesn't matter. So the system accepts a wide range of file types. It's really just dependent on what the city needs from your proposal to what you can upload there. Once you've uploaded your submission, we're going to hit, yeah, I understand that I can't change my submission or documents once the project closes. So once this closing time is reached, that's it. My submission's in there. We're going to hit submit and finalize. And one of the things you'll see is that as long as it's before the closing time, you can take your submission back and update it. Right? Prices of everything keeps going up like crazy. Maybe I submit this and then a week later, oh, the price of lumber or the price of, you know, whatever good I'm bidding on skyrockets. I need to adjust my prices a bit. We can come back, we can edit that as long as the project is still what we call open. As long as it's before the due date for submissions, you can come back and fix that. And I'll show you how to do that today. One of the things we get a lot of good feedback from vendors on is the submission receipt. The second that you submit your submission, you're immediately given a receipt. There's no question, you know 100%, okay, my submission was received. You're given a confirmation code, you're given a confirmation of the details. It's emailed to you as well right away. And then there's an option to send an additional email if you maybe accidentally deleted the email or need it resent, or you know, it went to spam and you didn't see it. You can also download a copy of your submission as well if you need to. I'm gonna go back to our portal here. There we go. Back on the opportunity. So I've submitted a couple days later. You know, situation changes. I need to adjust my my bid, maybe delivery times. Got a delivery driver win the lottery, and we need to increase our delivery times by a bit. We're gonna scroll down. When you've submitted, you'll have your submission listed here. Going back to the receipt, again, as long as it's before the submission deadline, you'll have the ability to unsubmit your submission. This will allow you to revise the submission you've put in here. It'll bring you back to that submission screen. You can, you know, I did this quickly earlier. You can just trash can your old document, upload your revised copy. Again, accept that, yeah, you can't change this when the project closes, and then submit. And then you're given a new confirmation code here as well. You're brought to a brand new receipt. And there we go. Last option I haven't talked about, feedback. If you love or hate the system, please let us know how we can improve or what we're doing great. You can submit feedback there as well. So we talked about the submission process. We talked about bid tables. There's one more feature that's pretty similar to bid tables, and it's called questionnaires. A questionnaire will be in the supporting documents of a project, and you're going to upload it and have the validation the same as a bid table. But instead of pricing, a questionnaire is going to, I'm just finding the window here. Maybe I Maybe I closed it by accident. So a questionnaire is going to be, again, an Excel document, but instead of prices, it's going to ask you for questions. So it's a list of questions. Common times you'll run across this is if you're maybe a software vendor and they're asking about a long list of IT questions, or consulting, if there's any consulting vendors here. Consultants get questionnaires in a lot of their projects, but very similar to Bonfire. It's going to open to an easy to follow set of instructions. And then you're going to have tabs down at the bottom here, and it's just going to walk you through the set of questions that's the city is asking for in the specific opportunity this is from. And then you're going to have red indicators where they're still missing information. So it's very, very foolproof. We're going to select a response, and if it's still red, just means a comment is required. Some questions will have set responses, and this is again configurable on a opportunity by opportunity basis. Some questions are going to have set responses, yes, no questions, or a customized set of questions, and some will just be text replies, right? Where we have NA here, we're going to have the ability just to free type into those cells. What's important is that the questions go green here. You see my green indicator says, yeah, I've answered that question right. Questionnaires are generally a bit larger than bid tables, and so we've added a little summary tab too to help you out. The nice thing about these being Excel is that you don't need to do it in one sitting. Just whenever you have some time to plug away at them as you're working on your submission, you can come in here and you can see where you're lacking progress. I can see, I don't have any questions in question set 2 done. I need to follow up with IT to help us with these questions, things like that. And then again, you just save the Excel, you upload it to the requested information slot, and it will validate. It'll let you know, oh, you forgot a required comment on page 2. So it helps just ensuring that you're giving a responsive bid. So no one likes to be deemed unresponsive. The system will try to help just make sure your bid is the best it can be. I'm going to flip back over to our portal here. And I wanted to, there we are. I wanted to talk about the supports available to vendors. You may have noticed on the instructions when we looked at the bid tables or the questionnaires, there was the last line in those instructions gives an email to reach out to our support. And we do offer a live support to any vendors using the system. If you need help registering, if you need help submitting, if you're getting an error and you're not sure. Our support is really quick too. Last year they averaged 13 minutes response time on every ticket that came in. So they average across the year. So it's really quick. If you have an issue, reach out, go get a coffee, come back and you have someone reaching out. Few different ways to contact them. You have that support email in the instructions that I mentioned, but you also have this little question mark here. And we want the vendor help center. The vendor help center will allow you to create a new ticket, submit that over to our support team, and then you also have a searchable database. Right, I'm going to open up our vendor help center here. It's a searchable database of how to do everything from the vendor's perspective in the systems. We have our standard vendors, we have our FAQs, searchable. So, quick tags if you're just struggling with registering. Why am I seeing can't use this password error? If we down at the bottom, we have our little tech support link, little ways to reach out to our support all over the place. Okay. So we've gone through how to register, how to submit questionnaires, bid tables, support options. We did have some questions that I wanted to ensure that I properly answer as well. So I think I'll dive into those, and then we'll open it up for any other questions that anyone may have on this meeting as well. Some of these I've already answered, but I think it's good to just reiterate the FAQs here. And the first one I wanted to go through: do individual members of an organization or company need to register for Bonfire, or just one account for all the members? So if you have, say, multiple salespeople that are going to contribute to a bid, you do want to register for your own individual account. You don't want to share an account across the company, and we are again working on features to make that collaboration across accounts better. But it's a good idea to register for your own account. They're free, so any salesperson or a person who needs to register can do so, no problem. Talked about those commodity code sections, which is another helpful thing for people that, if you have a large organization, maybe specific people only care about specific commodity codes, and so you can have the correct people that are interested in the correct kind of sections of the business registering for those set commodity codes, right? So maybe I'm in the abrasives division, but there's a different kind of construction product that maybe one of my colleagues specializes in. So you can register for commodity codes that way. And again, we do recommend that you register for the three-digit codes just to cast a wide net, and you'll be notified of all the 5-digit codes under that umbrella. But if you are maybe smaller, just more specific, just hyper specific kind of business, you can register for just the 5-digit codes that make sense for you. You can register for as many codes as make sense for you as well. I did mention when we went through the codes that I'd show you where to update those. When you register for an account, if you need to update any of your information, you want to switch up your codes. Maybe you've tried it for a couple of weeks and just the codes you selected aren't working for you. Maybe you want to switch from the 3-digit down to a few 5-digit codes. Once you've logged in, no matter what screen you're on here, so I'll just go back even to the main portal, you'll have your name up in the top right here. You just select that and go into your settings. Your settings will allow you to do things like update your email, change your password under your global vendor record. So this is specifically the City of Bend's record on you. And then we have our global record, which is the record that will be used across all organizations. If you register for a new portal, this is the default pre-filled info you'll see. If we go over to the commodity codes here, this is where we can change them. So I can switch those codes up if I want. So nothing's set in stone. You can, experiment, find out which commodity code settings work for you. Are the submissions only accepted in a PDF format? So I'll go back to a submission again. PDF is definitely very common. PDF is kind of standard across industries. You're gonna see the files be requested as PDF a lot, but the file being requested is controlled by the person running the opportunity, right? So if they want something else, they may specify a different file type, or they may leave it open if they want to allow you to submit a Word document or something else. But most places, PDFs are good. They open with a lot of different programs. They're easy to print, easy to work with. So it's normal to see PDF, but that doesn't mean it's always going to be PDF.
Andrew, real quick on that question and your answer. Thank you for that. And just to inform our vendors that are at this training today, we intend to not specify a file type so that we're not limiting ourselves if vendors want to be able to upload different types of documents. So that's just an FYI.
Great, perfect. Yeah, thanks for jumping in. How much time should we allow ourselves to upload submissions? Really as much time as possible. There's not it's never too early to start a submission. The system does save your progress as you upload documents as well. So even if you can't get the whole submission in at once, starting as early as possible is definitely the best idea. We've seen a lot of vendors, our support hears from vendors all the time that just left it to the last minute and missed the deadline. And so it's something you want to just start as soon as possible. If I am unable, excuse me, to submit a bid, how do I handle this? If you're not able to submit a bid because you're running into technical problems with the portal, you're getting an error in some area, reach out to our support right away is another reason. You want to start your submitting your bid as soon as possible. Start working on it, start plugging in the different files as soon as possible to give yourself as much of a buffer as possible. The system really doesn't have system issues very often. I've worked here for quite a while, and I can't think of really a time the system had an extended outage or there were any issues on the system side. But if there is weird issues that come up, reach out to our support. Again, they're lightning quick and they're here to help you. Our support operates the conversion, it's 8 to 8 Eastern time. So would that be like 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time? So they're morning people. If you want to reach out at 5 a.m., you definitely can. And again, 13-minute average response time. So even sometimes they're quicker than 13 minutes. And just reach out to our support, create a ticket. And then they're happy to give you a call or just shoot you an email if it's a simpler fix, and help you get that bid in. If it's a question regarding the opportunity specifically, you want to just follow the instructions on the opportunity for submitting a question, right? Your bid documentation will tell you if you have a question about the bid, what to do. And we looked at how to submit a question through the portal as well, right? You bring up the opportunity, which I will do again here, and right by the question deadline, you're gonna have that ask a question button. Okay. Last question we got a lot that was answered right off the top is if this training is recorded, and again we answer that right away, but yes, definitely is, and the recording will be available on the city's website later. Okay, I believe I got through all the pre-asked questions. Did anyone have any other questions? Excellent.
All right. Wonderful. Andrew, thank you so much for going over all of this today. We sure appreciate it. We appreciate all of you who've taken time to join in today and watch this recording, or watch this training rather, and learn how to use the Bonfire portal. We are going to be starting entering in submissions in Bonfire as early as tomorrow, or not submissions, rather solicitations as early as tomorrow. So, be on the lookout. If you haven't already registered, please do so. If nobody has anything else, we can go ahead and end this recording, and we'll get these uploaded along with the frequently asked questions and have those out on the website shortly.